Women's Premiership with a chance at the qualifying final at stake. It would require Mount Albert to win by a fairly sizable margin today, but it is a big deal in terms of the fact that it guarantees you a second life, but also potentially provides you with direct entry into the grand final. On the other field behind us, Manurewa currently taking on Te Aratu. I'm Corey Rosser, joined in commentary today by Troy Hardy. And Troy, we've just seen an excellent curtain raiser, the girls under 15s 9-a-side match. Otahu taking on Manurewa, some awesome rugby league played. You spoke to a few of the girls afterwards and they were pretty pumped, I guess, to be on the live stream and be able to showcase their talents to family and friends who maybe can't always get down to watch.
Flipping exciting, mate. They were so wrapped. I mean, the amount of joy and happiness coming out of especially the Manurewa Marlins, you know, taking that one. But in saying that, even the Otahu girls, they were absolutely pumped. They had a great time. And, you know, just so much, it was an exciting game. You know, They had great technique. Otahu impressed me on their defense. You know, they were bending girls twice their size in half. But that Vaka, number 6 for Manurewa, I think we might have witnessed a star being born. So keep your eye out for that one coming through. She certainly's got speed, she got step, she got vision, she can talk, she's not shy in coming forward. And all of those girls would have gone away tonight, and I'm pretty sure be camping around the old Auckland Rugby League YouTube channel, waiting for the action replays to be live. And I know Ctas will be working hard today to get them up and ready to go. Sounds like that's the warning for us, Corey, for the main game.
Yep, we can see on screen Mount Albert going through their final warm-ups. New to the competition this year, Mount Albert, a side made up of a lot of the players from the old Papakura Sea Eagles team, which unfortunately isn't taking part in the competition this year. Coached by Victor Hickey.
A couple of Bulldogs coming out of the hedge there, just walking down behind the Mount Albert Lions.
If you're wondering where those players are appearing from, there's a training field up the back here. It does look like they're walking out of thin air. But Richmond, runners-up in the competition last year. Bit of a rough start. They had a really tough grading round, played a lot of those top sides, ended up finishing the grading round in 5th position. But they've come good in the last few weeks, and they sit second coming into this one. And so far, look the most realistic challenger to Manurewa at the top. And just so you know, the Marlins are guaranteed a spot in the top 2. It's the final round of the competition today before we go into the finals. So the second place team will play Manurewa in week 1. That'll be a second chance semi-final. The winner will gain direct entry to the Farrell Photos Women's Premiership decider. And the loser will play the winner of 3v4. Otahu are confirmed to be one of those teams in the 3v4 match. They'll be joined by one of these sides here. We'll now bring up the team lists and run you through the sides and how they will take the field. And at the back for Mount Albert, Lara Diamond Brainy. On the wings, Chantel Schofield, Lisa Edwards, Carly Takawa, she's the captain, Mania Selwyn, Toru Arakura, Margaret Nina, Billie Jean Ali, Mary Jane Ali, Tasha Lileka, Alicia Brider, Tangaveri Hiki, and Tongakuya Adams. And on the interchange, the vastly experienced Alexandra Cook, played a lot of footy with the Kiwi Ferns, played at the NRL Auckland Nines a couple of years ago, Jamichi Sofia, Tumai Tuhipa Similika, and Chantel Wright rounds out the Mount Albert team. And for Richmond, Shannon Muru is the fullback, Jorana Sikini, Vanessa Molia Fraser, Skylar Irico, Chantel Woodman, she's one of the co-captains, another one so experienced, one of the real premier backs in New Zealand, Alice Vailea, Anita Nuasala, Georgia Hale is the other co-captain, Amber Hall, Lorena Papali'i, what a story she is, and we'll touch on that throughout the coverage. Shahana Titomo and Afina Marsh locks the scrum, and on the bench, Crystal Tamaroa, Ruth Vai, Lani Latoya Williams, and Destiny Taylor Tavita. So that is how the two teams will take the field. Vicky Hickey, the coach of Mount Albert, and John Sikini, the coach of the Richmond side. Troy, we've been looking forward to this day for a little while. It was great last year. We called a number of games. We called Richmond up against Manurewa on that occasion. A game probably spoiled a little by the conditions, played in thick mud that day. But it was great to see all those Kiwi Ferns on display. And you just feel like when they come up against each other in these games, the girls all lift They know it's a virtual trial. It's not just about club points. It's going to be a big game.
Absolutely. And we just heard from the match manager, Juanita Woodhouse. We got about 10 minutes, and seems like the Richmond guys over the far side there are just having their final chat. Mount Albert are certainly all set, ready, and they're in the chant. And yeah, as you said, you know, last year's game, complete difference in regards to, you know, the weather, the format. It was muddy. It actually reminded me of a Carlisle Park match. You know, you couldn't even tell the colour of the strips. And I remember we got out there to do the interviews. At the end, we started interviewing one of the captains who happened to be the player in the other team. So today, looking forward to a really fast, open running match. The ground certainly held up. I know the RL have kept a lot of traffic off here over the last 4 weeks. So it's a fantastic day for rugby league. If you're in the area, come down and join us. Failing that, live streams going out through aucklandleague.co.nz by live stream partners, Ctas, and the major sponsor for the Women in League clash today, Farrell Photos.
You see our match officials have made their way to halfway, and the middle referee today, Maxine Godinay, and she'll be assisted on the sides by Imogene Boyd and Carlota Ailo. Great to see a number of our female match officials out today as well, Troy. It's not just about the players this day. We've seen female coaches, managers, referees, administrators. And it is a day to pay our
Celebrate
respects
everyone,
to,
mate.
that's
Yep.
right, celebrate the input of all of them. And we were lucky enough to catch up with Juanita Woodhouse, our very own, I guess, Women in League hero at the Auckland Rugby League. She's been around a long, long time, done so much for the women's game, serving both Auckland representative sides for the ladies and also the Kiwi Ferns.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it was exciting catching up with her, and sometimes you sort of take for granted, you know. We're very fortunate in the job that we have, Corey. We live in the dream, mate. We get to go to rugby league. We get to, you know, work in the rugby league space, and we've got some fantastic people around us. And just as you touched on Maxine out here, she's my cousin.
There we go.
You know,
Family connection.
Cousin by marriage, although I don't know if Bugs has married her yet, but they've been together for a long, long time, and Maxine certainly, you know, has taken the centre of many, many games, and it's always a thrill to catch up with her as well. So fantastic day for rugby league, fantastic day for the girls, but also for all the families involved.
So a little look at the ladder before we kick off in this one. Manurewa will sit at the top, 3 wins to their name, 8 points. Richmond nestled in just behind, 1 loss to their name. Mount Albert, 1 win, 2 losses. They need to win today, and they need to win fairly big, probably by around 40 points in order to steal that second position. And then trailing in behind Otahu, and at the bottom, Te Aratu.
All set, ready to go. Georgia Hale looks like she's been doing a bit of gym work.
A number of these girls will feature in the NRL Women's Premiership. It kicks off in just a few weeks' time. How good's that going to be? The best of Australia and New Zealand combining for club level. We know that the New Zealand Warriors have made some exciting signings, but also the Brisbane Broncos. Troy, we caught up with Tuila Fotumawala midweek. How exciting is that going to be?
She was absolutely pumped.
So here we go, the feature match of the 2018 Farrell Photos Women in League Day, and it will be Mount Albert with first use of the ball. And straight into it we go. Richmond, well beaten in the end in the grand final last year against Manurewa. Was after they beat them on this very ground mid-season, and an early penalty for a shoulder charge that time. Well, that's going to be Amber Hall who was pinged. Mount Albert will tap and go now. Perhaps an early sign that this is a team that wants to play up-pace rugby league. Adams gets crunched that time. Down the left edge they come. Amber Hall leading the charge with some big defensive plays early on this one. I know she gave away the penalty just a few seconds ago, but some bell ringers since then, and now they come out to this right edge. That's a powerful carry forward by Brighter. Looking to move play on now. Toru Arakura.
3 Bulldogs in the tackle there. Yeah, just taking a bit of time.
Yeah, so poor discipline to start this one from Richmond. Back-to-back penalties.
Correct. Great settle. Very direct.
Leka takes them forward now, and they are about 20 out from the line now, Mount Albert. Great chance for early points here. Adams gets crunched again.
Bulldog sandwich.
Ali. Down the left edge they come, holding it up. A good scramble defence from Richmond. They'll get across there to prevent Billie Jean Ali. And now a little dart down the short again. The Richmond defence coming in numbers. Just short of the line now. Ali. They centralise now. Sloppy stuff. Arakura picks up, but it's knocked on. So Richmond survived that one. Back-to-back penalties conceded. They really piggybacked Mount Albert right down the field. But a good defensive stand in the end to hold them up.
Both teams seem to have a bit of size in their pack, Corey. I was about to say I thought Mount Albert might have had a bit of an edge on that, and then the front rows for the Bulldogs turned up, and I went, oh, okay, looks pretty even.
Yep, and a number of national representatives in that pack as well. Led by girl on screen, Neta Norsala. Monstered off the scrum, and Hale comes up with the error, but it's a penalty, and now Vilea will tap and go, and away they go. So good stuff from Richmond. Heads up thinking. Hale jumps into dummy half, and they shift play on, and they are rolling through the middle of the park now, Richmond. Marsh takes them up over halfway. Hale shifts out to the left edge.
Stole the ball. And a penalty on that.
So now Richmond receive their first penalty, and heads up play from Hale, who jumps out of dummy half, and look at her, she's still going. Eventually back slammed to ground.
Move now.
Another penalty. And this time, again, it is going to go against Richmond. I actually thought for a minute there it's going to be a penalty in possession. Play on as the call, a weaving run this time. From Papali'i.
Yep.
Hale shifts on, they centralise now. Amber Hall. Tackled well down low by Tikawa. Down the right they come again via Vilea, who's still going, fending her way across field. Gonna be hard to stop. Set heavy now to the left. Instead they go right. Hall with another carry. Heavily involved in the opening exchanges. Woodman. Dummies and runs instead, but she's not fooling anyone this time. Last tackle coming up. Hale rushes the dummy half. Options left and right, and it's a little dribbled kick in behind, cleaned up nicely at the back though by Mount Albert. So solid defensive sets from both teams, Troy, despite giving away a number of penalties.
That kick through too looked deceiving, eh? Looked like she put a wee bit of weight on it. But the ground's quite heavy, so the ball held up well. And Mount Albert now having to grind out from inside their 20.
Good line speed there from Richmond that time. Leah up out of the line. Another shot.
Oh.
Big hit and back play. They go down the left edge. Now the kick comes over the top. Richmond are back there in numbers. And it's cleaned up by Muru. Puts on a little footwork, tackled right on halfway. Really good kick chase from the Mount Albert ladies. And now Richmond jump out.
Good high. Yeah, Mount Albert want to try and take their penalties out of the game. Richmond having far too many.
Tamarua at the first. 35 out from the line now. Chantel Woodman turns back on the inside and finds Nuasala. Hale again now. Woodman down the short side. This is looking dangerous from Richmond. Good up and in defence that time. Lisa Edwards with the crucial intervention. Back and play the ball again. See in the background there, Troy, a familiar face in the dead ball line. Cody Walker, assistant coach of the Mount Albert Lions SAS Fox Memorial Premiership team. Handy man to have helping out with the coaching as Richmond now move a little bit of second phase.
Only with him yesterday.
Hale. They go to Marsh. Marsh kicks across field. They've got the numbers out there if they can get there. But it's going to be knocked on. Just couldn't reel it in at the last ditch. So it's Richmond winning the arm wrestle early on.
May not be able to pick up some of the audio from the field there, but lots of chat from both sides. Big, deep settle.
Edwards with Settler to the 40. Big shot there. Richmond dished them out early on. That time it was Georgia Hale. Put straight down there. Lileka. Ali now jumps out of dummy half, moves the ball to the left, and they centralise. Here's a good bumping carry forward. Mount Albert now looking to generate a little bit of momentum. Ends up being a pretty slow play, the ball. They get to the kick. Dink one over the top. Diamond is back to collect. Nuasala.
Went high, paid for it.
Up and over the top, but it's a good tackle in the end. Spins her around. Slows things down a little bit. They're made to work for their meters in this set, Richmond. Marsh. It's on a little bit of footwork, gets them to halfway. Last tackle coming up. Down the short side. Valia gets to the kick, puts one over the top. The winger's up. Now there's a bit of a foot race on. Mount Albert looked to have it covered. It's gone out anyway. Not a bad option there. Spotted the winger was up, and it was Selwyn who'd come up into the line.
Come, guys.
Some of the girls just strolling into formation, just getting a bit of a breather. It's been a little bit of pace to the opening session there, Corey. You know, they've moved side to side. A few of the girls have had some big, strong carries as well. So, you know, just getting a bit of air into the lungs.
Yeah, taxing battle in the middle already. We're only 10 minutes into it. Big shout out to Farrell Photos who bring you this Women in League Day. Come on board this year as the major sponsor of the women's competition, and Mike Farrell, he's been a great servant to the local game.
Yeah, he's done some really cool stuff, and I know he's got specials and offers on for team photos at the end of the year season. So get hold of him, farrellyphotos.co.nz.
A little bit of footwork at the line, and now they break through. Good carry from Takawa. Just weaved away through the first couple now. Arakua moves it on to Diamond Brainy.
Great tackle, did well to hold on there.
Dominant tackle on halfway from Richmond.
Go.
Driving Brighter back. Now they go to the line. Move the ball out.
That's good.
Offload happy right now, Mount Albert. Looking to promote that second phase. Looping ball up over the top. They're into space now. But good scramble defense coming across from Richmond.
Last one. Woo.
Diffuses the situation pretty quickly. Impressive defense from both sides early on. Ali. They get to the kick. Off the boot of
Pull
Cook.
that in.
That's one. Up we go. Go. Two. Move now, 11.
Near the trainer alongside here,
Third.
belting out instructions.
Pull. Go.
Woodman straightens things up now.
Ha. Woo. Here comes. Don't milk
Chantel
it.
Woodman, she's a great story. Actually went to the World Cup for Pro Kabaddi. Those who
Last one.
have switched the Sky Channel on and wondered what that weird sport is that seems to be very popular over in India. Thanks a little kick. That's a good kick. Just slows things down and just starts to establish their hold in this arm wrestle here, Richmond, and they are right now winning that field position battle.
When I asked to move. Yeah. So for the scrum, but you break too early. That was way early.
Talking to going on with referee Godinay.
So looking after my course, yeah?
Yeah, Mount Albert have really only been down in the Bulldogs deep into their territory
When you're ready, lady.
once in this first half. They're sure they've been in the Bulldogs half, but not as close and not as many times as Richmond attacking the line. Dare say a little bit more pressure about to mount here.
So Hale collects from the back of the scrum, goes to Woodman, who had her fullback looming in support. Instead decided to take the ball forward herself. They do a quick one as well. Nuasala pumping
Great
carry
find.
forward, leaves one on the ground. They want a quick play of the ball here now, Richmond. They're set up either side. They go to the right, Papali'i. A little bit of footwork at the line.
Next the line.
Now Nuasala. Gonna go very close, tackled well, right up against the line.
Let go.
They're inches away from the try line and opening the scoring here, Richmond. Sloppy ball out the back, a little bit of footwork from Muru.
Last one.
Now they look to reset. It's fallen apart a little bit in the last couple of tackles. Woodman, it's going to be off the cuff. They're going to go down the left edge now. They move the ball. It's flicked in behind. Cleaned up, though, by Edwards, who looks up and sees a little bit of free space. Still running across field. Eventually gets taken at 10 out from the line. Once again, impressive defence from the Mount Albert ladies. It's been a high-quality opening quarter of an hour.
Go.
Particularly Troy, after a few early errors, it's really cleaned up there as well. Starting to see these teams getting to their completions. And here's an
Great
excellent
break. Here we
carry
go.
forward by Brighter. Still going now. Muru comes down and finishes off the tackle. Woodman as well. Good technique that time. Getting her on the back and just slowing
Yeah,
things
big
down too
time.
much, though.
Holding. Hold.
Tap and go from there.
First one. Release now.
Cook shuffles it on now. Brings her fullback into the
Great
game.
feed.
Here's a great run from Diamond Brainy, and now they flick the ball at the back to Edwards, who was tackled brilliantly down low, somehow stays on the field of play. That is great work there from Edwards on the wing. They centralise now. Cook to Arakura. Bumping carry. Oh! Big contact from Richmond right up against their line now. Cook breaks down for Mount Albert. It's going to be a knock on. Well, put that down to the massive hit on the line, which really just put Mount Albert at 6s and 7s from that point on. I didn't catch the number who it was that dished it out.
Hales drops out of the front row there. Looking to distribute the ball, might be a set move on.
There to feed the scrum, and it is Hale who receives the ball, hands it off to one of the big blockers to get things underway. 17 minutes gone now here at Cornwall Park. A good little battle developing. Hale to Papali'i. Papali'i still driving the legs.
Hold. Hold. Go.
40 metres out from the line now, Richmond.
No marker, no
Come to the back end of this set.
It's your line.
Taylor Tavita takes him just short of halfway now. Woodman gets the ball, and now they want to move it on. I think they're going to run it here, and they play at the line. And tackled
Last one.
on last tackle. You can hear there the frustration from Woodman.
Hold. Go. Surrender. Let up. Go. Let up.
When the ball's in motion, it's played at a fair pace. You know, they're certainly putting the accelerator down where they can. Oh, a couple of big contacts there.
Yeah, Lani Latour-Williams onto the field for Richmond. A little jink at the line that time from Tikawa, and it's a damaging run. Ball comes out though, and play on is the call, and now Richmond look to counter.
0. Move. Take it back.
Back to play it again. I think it's the call from referee Godinay.
Yeah.
Big crowd as you'll be catching on screen here, Troy. And how good is it to see the support for the day? Not just this match, but a number of games going on the backfields here as well, as Vilea now puts a little bit of footwork on.
Release.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic day down here at Cornwall Park. Big ups to the Auckland Rugby League. Major sponsor, Farrell Photos.
Latour-Williams bumps the ball forward now. Hale is the dummy half. Hale to Woodman, the Kiwi Ferns connection. Woodman now looks for a runner back on the inside. Finds one, but Titomo is well tackled. Taylor Tavita right in front of the uprights, and a penalty as well. Hale taps and
Oh, it's
goes, and
gone.
she's going to go close here. Back to play it is the call. Heads up play there from Hale. I thought she was through initially. Hands it off now to Marsh. Marsh just spins in the tackle.
This one.
Lions showing a lot of pride in their line, Corey.
Hale shifts one wide. Good defense from Mount Albert. Right on their line, they stop Latour-Williams. Vilea just holds it up, and now Vilea might go all the way through. I think she has. Alice Vilea, the little dummy, just held them up. Let's take a look at the Farrell photos. Replay. Started with some good carries forward. This one from Latour-Williams. And they shifted on. You can just see here, it's the little dummy. She just sells a couple of them out. And then from there, enough of a gap to go through. She's powerfully built. And from there, it crashes over. So Richmond open the scoring here right on 20 minutes.
Bring it in.
don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, join us every Saturday. We're live streaming the SAS Fox Memorial, and we'll be coming live to you next week, Saturday. And you can get to those live links and all of the details and the aucklandleague.co.nz.
Yeah, that'll be a nice little game as well. Point Chevalier versus Northcote.
Yes.
Second plays third on the ladder.
And that's at the War Memorial over on the shore. As the kickers waved away. How cool is that young linesman over there? I think we managed to interview her last year, if I'm not mistaken, out of Tiara 2. From memory. Yeah, looking forward to that clash, Corey. That's going to be, we might see the famous Dylan Moses arrive and, you know, have another run around. I think he played in the first round against Point Chev.
He's had a bit of a frustrating run since then, hasn't he? A couple of little injuries, nagging Achilles injury, I understand, which is always a tough one to grapple with. But Northcote, well, they look like they're only getting better. Had a close one against Glenora last week and an eventual loss. As we wait to restart play now. Mount Albert taking their time, making the most of the rest.
Which way? Which way?
Yeah, get a completing!
Ali, too many penalties.
Get to that kick!
Too many penalties? Yeah. No,
Almost
no,
like we're in the game out here. Trainers are to our left, players to our right.
On that side.
Here I am, Corey, stuck in the middle with you.
I was about to say there's a song in that.
Side.
Back underway we go. Mount Albert, the scrappy one which is claimed by Valera and wind it up. Here we go. A little bit of footwork at the line. That's a good carry. And straight away they're back to the 40 here, Richmond, looking to build on that try.
I don't want to do it, Corey, but I think the doggies have got the tails up.
That's your second. Release.
Hale jumps out, hands off to Marsh, who takes Richmond up over halfway. Dominant tackle though, slammed to ground. And as a result, it's a slow play the ball. Hale to Papali'i. Penalty as well. Second effort, flopping in. Hale taps and goes, looks up, sees a broken line. She'll go 10 untouched before being taken to ground about 30 metres out from the line. Valia to Latour Williams, still driving the legs and standing in the tackle. Eventually she's spun and taken to ground. Papali'i lining up for a run off the back fence. Instead it goes to Woodman, who hands off to Taylor Tavita.
Got humbled too for her effort.
Right in front of the SAS uprights now, Richmond looking for their second try of the game. One set on, Woodman throws a cutout ball over the top. It's messy, it's missed everyone, and it's gone out. So Mount Albert survived that one.
Captain. Carly.
Taking an age to take down this.
No, we'll just sort it all out when you're ready.
Talk to the girls and then make the
Welcome into the live league action stream. Just not live at the moment as we wait for the scrum to set.
I think at the end of it, Tikawa they were talking to from referee Godinate.
ladies, those tackles are taking too long. So when I say move,
And
you need
now
to
we're going to
move.
get a lesson on how to
Roll to the side, yeah?
take down a scrum.
Don't want to keep giving penalties. I'll turn up the mic so I can. And now. Whoa.
And we get there in the end. Mount Albert with the feed. Good line speed though, straight away from Richmond. Move one on the ground.
Whoa. Go.
Now lining up off the back fence. There's another good one, but she's crunched by the two interchange forwards, Latour Williams and Taylor Tavita.
Go. Backward.
Get the offload away out the back. And a penalty. This will help Mount Albert, who are really struggling to
Get off the head.
find their way upfield.
When you're ready. Yep. On. That's your one. Roll away, Richmond.
First time the Lions have had a ball in
Go.
a number of sets, and they've really just grounded out of their own half. And being met by some pretty heavy defence.
35 off their line now, Mount Albert. Need to start building some pressure now. They go to the line. They play out the back. Good carry forward. Thought about the offload, did Billie Jean Ali. Decided against it. Centralised now. It goes to Cook, who shifts play on now to Arakua. A little dummy in the second effort brings Captain Tikawa into the action. Still moving forward. Cook on the ball now. Cook misses out one. They got to the left where Ali is taking the ground. Not far out from the line, and that should be a penalty. It will be a penalty for the second effort in the tackle. Tikawa. A settler straight into Vailea and Hale.
First one. Move now. Going through here, guys.
So not getting pinged there. Slowly gets up to play the ball.
Certainly slowing down that play of the ball as much as they can right now, Richmond. They direct a bit of traffic and they come back infield, but that's good line speed from Chantel Woodman. Up and in the face. Still driving the legs though, and she's broken free of the tackle, and this might be Mount Albert to get back just short of the line. Frantically pushing players out of the play of the ball now. They spin it back to Cook, who shuffles on to Ali. Ali pops it out the back to a fullback. They've got numbers here, but they're up quickly. Good scramble defence. Brilliant scramble defence from Richmond, and Woodman is the player to finish it off. Cook jumps into dummy half. And again, they're very lucky not to concede a penalty there, Richmond. Edwards centralises, runs it straight at Papali'i.
Roll away, Richmond.
Right in front of the sticks. Cook to Ali. Ali's going to go close.
Close. I think that's over the line.
And held up
Could be
is the
wrong.
call.
Yeah.
So back to play it. Billie Jean Ali. All but equalises there for Mount Albert. Cook is the dummy half. Arakua pops the
tried
ball
to
out
pop
the
it
back.
out the back. That'll be an error.
And it's Richmond ball handover. So well done to the Roses holding on there. Brilliant goal line defence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Papali'i.
That's your first one. Let her up. Go. Two. Move. Don't work.
Ragdolled to ground that time by Schofield.
Three. Let her up. Oh.
And this time it's Richmond struggling to make ground through the middle of the park. Titomo puts her hand up. Played for the Auckland Vulcans women's team this year at the national tournament. So the team finished once again in
Last one.
4th position. Vailea dinks the little ball up over the top. And was that out on the full? I think it may have been.
Yep, she's heading back to where she started from.
So Richmond now putting themselves under a little bit of pressure. A couple of penalties. Kick out on the full that time, Troy. They are making it tough on themselves as we enter the final 10 minutes of this first half. We see an interchange going on in the background, so it looks like the two double-barrel names, Latour Williams and Taylor Tavita, will go off for a rest. Really effective stint for both of those two. Marsh goes down low. Holds on to the boots.
Well done.
Cook is the dummy half. Shuffles it on to Leleka, who's in some discomfort. And we're going to have time off here, and that didn't look good. That didn't look good at all. And it's Leleka, I believe, who is the injured player. So as we break here, Troy, your read on the game so far. Certainly Richmond dominating the field positioning early, but it started to level out a little bit now. Mount Albert probably just cleaned their game up a little bit, but they're also starting to dominate that middle.
Correct.
So the player being attended to on the ground.
Yeah, just having a quick look back over the notes there, Corey. Coming off the back of a penalty, Lions, you know, managed to head down the field from left to right. They certainly got better field position, and they completed a set, got the ball back, and momentum sort of just slowed up a wee bit as you know, Bulldogs been pretty ferocious in the tackles. They've and it's not the first time that a Lion player's gone down in this half, and hopefully she'll be all right. She'll bounce back up.
Yeah,
And whilst we've got her off scene, the teams are just gathering to the right there. You can see the cameramen are just giving a wee, okay, well, we're going to bring them up on scene. So she's being attended to by the trainers.
That
May
would
have
look
twisted
like
an ankle or something.
Ankle or a knee.
Yeah. And one of the things that, you know, that really I admire around female rugby league, these girls are smashing each other for a full game. And tonight they'll get home, they'll put the feed on, they'll do all the dishes, they'll kiss all the children, and then they'll get ready to go to work tomorrow. This is just a massive effort.
Yep, and for a lot of these girls, they're juggling representative duties as well. And with that new NRL women's competition, a lot of them will be training fairly well every night of the week.
Yeah.
And as we know from catching up with a
Just
few of the
tough,
Kiwi
mate.
Ferns, Troy, a lot of them do training on their
Yeah,
own as
absolutely.
well.
Yep.
Not
And
uncommon to see the likes of Tuila Fotumawala training on her own down at the Otahu club rooms.
Yeah, looking after the family, looking after everything else, you know, just a massive effort. I don't know how many Fox boys went home last night and vacuumed the house and put the feed on.
Maybe Drew
Okay, here
Radich,
we
she
go.
did everything else yesterday. Brilliant game for Howick. As Mount Albert get us back underway now. Cook is the dummy half. Centralizes now. Speaking of Fotumawala, there she is in the background. Down to watch the footy today. Her Otahu team, who she captain coaches, with the bye today. But they are assured of either third or fourth position. They're assured of a semi-final spot. Ali, now was there a bobble at dummy half there? I think there was. And referee Godinay agrees.
Just play, ladies.
Not too many handling errors in this match in the first half. Both teams have been completing fairly well at a good rate. Number of penalties though, and you know, both teams just showing a little bit of impatience around that.
It sort of makes the scoreline all the more remarkable when you look at how many penalties there have been, and both sides have really spent a lot of time down in attacking territory, haven't they? So scrum now to
Seems
pack
to
down.
take an age for the scrum though, won't it? Like,
Yeah, we may well get to half time before the scrum is eventually packed. I'm not sure what the hold up is. Maybe both teams just enjoying the rest as Hale shifts the ball on.
Richmond, move. Keep coming. Go.
Shannon Moru joining in there. Auckland and North Harbour tag rep.
Whoa.
Plays for a country at tag as well. Ruth Veit off the bench, fresh legs on the park. And now Lorena Papali'i with a little bit of footwork. Great carry forward from the veteran middle.
Go. Last one. Go to the side.
Amber Hall back on for her second stint. Got one for Vilea to take there. Now they're going to work it down this right edge. I think there may have been a forward pass in the build-up. There was. So it breaks down that time for Richmond. A little bit of off-the-cuff stuff.
one of the young ladies here screaming at the referee, what about the offside? Yeah, I don't think that's going to influence the referee anyway as the scrum gets notified here. We'll probably have a little break now as we decide Are we going to set the scrum?
Run at 20 here.
Mount Albert's having a bit of a chat about that at the back there. Just seems a bit of a break in the rhythm, eh? Here we go.
And well, this is actually, well, by this game standards, a pretty quick one packed down. We're going to get back into it. Out comes the ball. About 6 minutes to go by our count in this half.
Now wrap around.
Marina Papali'i getting through plenty of work in defence early on. We see Ali now straight through the middle, looking for the offload. Finds Diamond Brainy on the back of it. Taking the ground, ball is loose. And I think that's going to be a knock-on against Mount Albert.
A few smiling faces out there. Yep. Just, we said there wasn't too many in the way of errors. We just had a couple back to back. Those teams. Flash looking Marlin sweatshirts over the back there.
Yeah, just about to say.
Man, he did that artwork, knew what he was doing.
Great to see the other clubs out here supporting today. I dare say probably having a look at what they might face come semi-finals time. If you have just joined us, we had a brilliant curtain raiser earlier, Otahuhu up against Manurewa in the under-15 girls niner side. Manurewa got up for the victory in the end, but it was a game, Troy, I know both you and I thoroughly enjoyed. Some real individual standouts in that game. I look forward to seeing them filter through into the senior women's competition over the next few years. Back to play the ball from the mark. Hale moves it on now to Papali'i. Just short of halfway. Not long left in this half now. And a really good carry forward that time from Amber Hall. Looks good every time she's touched the ball in this game, Amber Hall. She's knock it on a rep. And for good reason, Vilea looks to work the short side. 30 out from the line now, Richmond. Looking to add to this 4-0 lead, which they gained midway through this first half. Woodman has to beat the rushing tackle, gets an offload out the back, but they're going nowhere. Marsh eventually gets to a kick. The chase is non-existent. There should be an easy clean-up, and it is. And now Mount Albert look up and look to reset things. It was Marsh who led the tackle eventually. Woodman is involved as well.
Yeah, the Mount Albert line still not back there, though.
Jump out of dummy half from Schofield.
Hold. Go. Let it up.
Arakua.
Great carry. Showed a lot of determination.
Hold. Go.
Cook shifts it on to the middle, and Alicia Brighter, who has been brilliant. Their best forward on the park so far.
Good offload.
Pops the ball out the back. That is nice work. Cook gets it, and now she'll run 5. Looking to shift play on. They might have them stretched on this left edge. Now Tekawa puts the foot down, and now they're into a little bit of space. Good scramble coming across, and they've got her into touch. So good footy either side of the ball that time. Mount Albert, it'll start with that offload in the middle, Troy, and they looked likely on that left edge. But how good has Richmond's scramble been today?
Yeah,
just when you
just
think
about to say that, mate. Yep, hit the nail on the head there, son.
Looks like we're going to have one of these famous, very, very slow scrums. Back down. It's into the final couple of minutes of this first half here at Cornwall Park. If you are just joining us, thanks for watching. You are witnessing the 2018 Farrell Photos Women in League Day. If you're new to the Auckland Rugby League live stream, we're here every week, every Saturday from noon in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and weekdays from 4 in the SAS College Rugby League.
Just got the 2-minute warning from our match manager, Juanita Woodhouse. Over the far side there. So they'll be looking to complete a set here at least and try and mount a wee bit of pressure on the Bulldogs.
4-0 is the lead for Richmond, and it's probably a fair representation so far. It's been a brilliant, grinding game. One for the rugby league purists.
Three, move, hold, go.
Yep,
And
the
behold,
vertical side
a
step.
little goose step. Slow play the ball, and that's a penalty. Now, do you think about the two? Do you think about the two?
No, you think about
Hale's
tap
got
and
other
go.
ideas. She taps and goes. Had Papali'i looming in support. Woodman
Go.
kindly moves the defender out of the ruck. Marsh now centralises. Could be the last set of the half here. Richmond looking to strike a really critical blow. Woodman down the left they come. She misses out Papali'i instead. Floats one over the top, and now it's Diamond into space, who flicks it back in field to Sakini. Woodman to Papali'i, who looks like she's going to take a settle now. A little bit of footwork at the line. Wants an offload. Pops it. Space on this left edge here now. Nicely summed up. Diamond a chance in the corner.
Wow, she could have gone herself, I think.
But the scramble defence take nothing away from Mount Albert there. Boy, that was incredible. And that'll get us to half-time. It is the Richmond Roses who lead 4-0 over Mount Albert at the break in the feature match of the 2018 Farrell Photos Women in League Day.
Hi, it's Will Fatamala from the Kiwi Friends, I'm the player coach for the Otahu Leopards. Catch our under 15s this Sunday.
We're just around the corner from the 2018 Farrell Photos Women in League Day. Tawila, how important are days like this for Women's Rugby League?
Oh, the Women in League round is an awesome opportunity to see the talent from our young ones, our under 13s, right up to our open women's grade. And I guess it's just giving back to those who are involved in the sport, you know, whether you're referee, we're coaching, players, and especially wives of footy players. It's just acknowledging their efforts to grow the game. And yeah, it's good to see that our Auckland Rugby League has dedicated a Sunday or a weekend for that. For an awesome match, 2:30, Mount Albert versus Richmond.
How nice is it, obviously, with the Farrell Photos Women in League Day, to be able to bring together not only players, but women coaches, managers, referees, everyone's there in one place. How nice is it to be able to celebrate all of those women and their contribution?
It's fantastic to be able to celebrate every woman involved in rugby league. You know, with the professional pathway opening up for the women's game, it also opens up opportunities for women coaches, managers, and it's so great that we're kind of getting recognition and growing the game all over the place.
Farrell Photos have come on board this year, not only to sponsor the Women's Premiership and Pennant competitions, but also the Women in League Day. How big is their support?
Farrell Photos have been amazing. You know, this time last year we had a Women's Premiership with no sponsor, and it is just fantastic to be able to extend our partnership with a long-time ARL friend and supporter and have them in the mix for this important and exciting part of our game.
Thank you to the major sponsors, Farrell Photos, major sponsors for Women League.
I'm Lynn Cameron, Director on the ARL board. Thank you for watching ARL TV.
Welcome back in to the Farrell Photos Women in League Day. Halftime in the feature match. And it is Richmond sitting on a 4-0 lead at the end of a grueling first half.